Hello everyone, this is going to be a reading for Capricorn for January 2016. First and foremost, Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful holiday. Thank you so much for watching, for subscribing, for sharing. Thank you for your wonderful comments. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Without your comments and your wanting me to do this, this would be pointless. So this is what keeps me going in my sometimes crazy busy schedule. So thank you so much. Keep it coming. I have 5 cards spread for you for January, and I have 2 cards for you as to signify the overall energies for year 2016. I was specifically told not to do the entire year, as there is a lot of movement from month to month, and I do believe we have free will, but 2 cards from 2 different decks are going to be signifying what the overall energies are for 2016. So let's get started. With what's happening right now, or what the card is representing as of right now, what we have, the card is called Solitude. It's number 9, and right off the bat you are being called to pay attention to this, because this is a major arcana card, which means a lot of things are happening, and typically from within you or inside of you. So number 9 also signifies endings before new beginnings come, and to say endings of a cycle to do with an emotional way of being, how you have been feeling up until this point, cycle that signifies ending of certain way of relating to people, relationships, and also relationships with your relationship with yourself, or how you understand yourself better. So solitude is very much about going within, deep within, organizing your thought patterns, rethinking and re-examining your patterns and your behaviors, specifically pertaining to building relationships. This could be romantic, significant romantic relationships. This could be friendships and work relationships, but I'm being shown romantic unions as the thing I want to focus first and foremost. So for most of you, this is what will apply. So that's what's happening right now in your distant or not too distant past, or what you are leaving behind. What we have, the card is called Material Prosperity, and Material and Spiritual Prosperity. And this card represents the physical aspect of who we are, and it also signifies the I have. So it pertains to relationships, finances, careers, also health. This is being shown to me in reverse. Okay, and since we are talking about relationships, he's asking me to talk about the reason why you are in this position now. And the reason why you're in this position right now is because in your past, and I want to say in your recent past, predominantly your relationships, or how you relate to other people of the opposite sex, or in the romantic department, things haven't been going so well. And he's showing me and saying to me that there has been a turbulence of events in your life, and I want to go with number 3 to 4. This could be 3 to 4 years or 3 to 4 months. It could also signify 3 to 4 weeks. So how this will apply to you, hopefully you will understand at a 3 to 4 time frame. But he's saying to me, fret not, because, and I love how he says fret, because I typically don't use that word. Don't be so concerned about your future with respect to your romantic relationships. And he's saying to me that some of you, perhaps most of you who are listening to this, you are preoccupied with what if. What if I'm going to be single for the rest of my life? What if I will never get married? What if nobody will find me attractive? What if I can't find someone to have a family with? So all these ifs, he's saying, put that aside and put it in the back burner, because those questions that you are constantly having revolving in your mind is actually causing chaos, not only in your mental being, but he says to me physically as well. He's also pointing me to your throat area, and I feel it's scratchy. So that signifies to me that there is some kind of a stuckness here, meaning either an inability to express what you want, or what you are expressing is not congruent with what you want. So that needs to come to alignment. But that's what you're leaving behind, okay? And he's saying to me, this was a school of hard knocks. It's an interesting metaphor. What you have gone in the last 3 to 4 months or years or weeks has been a school of hard knocks, and it has given you a lot of understanding with respect to who you are, with respect to how you relate to others. And again, I want to stick mostly with relating to relationship of a romantic nature. So that's what you're leaving behind. What's about to enter your picture or your world is, the card is called Foundations and Achievements, and this is 4 represents I'm being told building blocks. Okay, this is a number of stability. It is not as stable as number 8, but it does signify building foundation for your future when it comes to your family or your life within a family environment moving forward. And if you see in this card, there's a man, a woman, a child, and there's a house in front of them, and a rainbow, and all of this signifies happy ending, and they are walking towards it. So it is not there yet, it is in a distance, but it is in a near distance. So what he's saying to me is that the building blocks of your stability pertaining to who you are and how you feel about yourself are starting to add up to a point where you are going to see significant changes or significant movement coming towards you with respect to you wanting that family. And I feel this, you want a union. Union is the word that I want to say. And some of you want it really desperately, okay? And considering where you come from, and I feel like you've been alone for a while, it is understood. So it's, you know, it makes sense. But he's saying the desperation that you sometimes feel not only did not serve you well in the past, but it also will not serve you well in the future. So you are to stay very mindful when you start getting into your mental thing and the desperation comes up again, because he says keep that ugly head of the desperation, you know, keep a tight lid on it, because that's not going to serve you well. Nonetheless, you are building a foundation for yourself, okay? So that's what's happening in the near future. What's in your distant past is the card of authority, okay? And this is another major arcana card, and I'm going to ask what this means, because logically I don't quite understand what this means, but obviously logic has no place here necessarily. So what he's saying to me is that part of the reason why you are in a situation where you are today is because there was a relationship some time ago where you needed to stand your ground. And I feel this, and again, this is connecting me to a romantic relationship. It could signify work, but I'm concentrating on romantic. So if it's work related, you can interpret that as work or family, but I'm just staying in the middle. So I'm going to talk about the unions of romantic nature, or close unions. You had to put your foot down on something. You had to let something go, and you had to do it with the stance of this, he's showing me. In other words, it was important for you to say no more, and that's why you ended up in a situation where you were alone or not in a significant union. But that's in the past. He's just saying that's where it all stems from. Okay. Now the card I always am very excited about is the card of the future. So I want to say 6 months forward and beyond. And what we have is, the card is called Temptation. And this is another major arcana card, which signifies changes will be happening from within you. But the card is shown to me in reverse. Okay, so what he's saying to me that the patterns you have had in the past, or the patterns that have been with you in the past, where you were tempted to repeat the same mistakes again or the same patterns, I don't feel you will be doing much of that going forward. And what he's saying to me is you have learned your lesson the hard way, which is typically how it works. So for the most part, you understand the signs, you know what to look for, and you are well equipped now to not get into the same situations that you have gotten before that ultimately did not give you or bring you what you were looking for. Okay, so this is actually really good. Very promising reading, and I do believe this is a Capricorn birthday time, so happy birthday to all of you Capricorns. So let's see what the other two cards say for the remainder of the entire 2016. So this was for January. So the first card I have for the 2016 year as an overall energy, what I have is wisdom. How beautiful. Again, another major arcana. Okay, so this 5 is number of changes, and what this is signifying that in the year of 2016, or throughout this entire year, you are going to rely on the wisdom you have gained from your past. And the wisdom you have gained is going to help you in your situations moving forward. And he's saying to me that the enlightenment you have received from the mistakes you made, and when I do mistakes, I don't necessarily believe in mistakes. I believe everything is an opportunity to learn. You will be able to look with fresh eyes at things in your future, and you'll be able to make better decisions. Okay? And a lot of your decisions will come from the wisdom that you have gained. And as a result, there will be a lot of changes, positive changes moving forward. I want to say that by the end of 2016, you are going to be happy or in a happy relationship, one that you've been looking for. It would be either a relationship with yourself where you are happy and content, or in a long-term relationship that is giving you pleasure, contentment. Okay, so that's the first card. The second card, and this is from the Angel deck, what we have is Oceana. It's a beautiful, if you can see, this angel is flowing up towards the light. And I'm going to read to you what it says. Take action. You're in touch with your truth in this situation, and you need to trust your gut and lovingly assert yourself. So again, for the entire 2016, this is basically saying that you have learned a lot. The next actions you are going to be taking will be based on the hard lessons you have learned, but those lessons are predominantly behind you. Will you be tested? Possibly, but you will know better because you know what the signs are. When it says here, when the angel is saying lovingly assert yourself, that to me says you will have to be firmer in your convictions going forward. And I'm also hearing the words no, as in, if you feel something is not right for you, don't be afraid to say it. Don't be timid. Don't be shy about saying it because you feel you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Just be lovingly assertive, because that will ultimately pay out big dividends. And again, those are the words that he wants me to say. So I hope this makes sense. If you have any comments, please feel free to put them down below. I really appreciate comments. As I always say, this reading makes no sense to me, but it's not supposed to. Happy birthday to all of you Capricorns, and I look forward to reading to you again in February. If you would like a personal reading that is specifically tailored to you, feel free to comment or to connect with me. The information is down below. Also, every other Sunday I do free readings on air for 2 hours, and you can call in and have a reading with me in another medium. The information is also down below, so feel free to call. If you do call, say hello. I look forward to seeing you again in February, and Happy New Year to you, and thank you so much for watching, subscribing, and sharing. And and good luck. Bye.